every congressman needs to treat CNN exactly like this.
Mr. Reagan.
So, for those of you who've not seen this video, this is amazing. Jim Acosta tried to ask Congressman Mo Brooks a bunch of questions, and Mo Brooks basically just said, F off. I am not interested. I will not speak to you. CNN is fake news. You know what? Actually, it's just better if I show you. Let's play the clip.
So you take the bike to work, huh?
Sometimes.
Congressman, is there any way we could get you to talk about January 6th?
I do not do interviews with CNN because I do not trust CNN to be honorable or truthful.
Well, can I ask you, do you still believe Antifa was behind January 6th?
I've already said what I'm going to say. I don't trust y'all to be truthful or honest.
Well, can you tell us if you regret what you said on January 6th?
I do not trust CNN to be truthful or honest, so I do no interviews.
Well, I'm just asking you
CNN.
questions. I'm asking you fair questions here, sir. Why can't you answer the question?
I do not trust y'all to be truthful or honest with anything CNN does.
It's on video. If you can just talk to us for a moment.
Oh, you guys will lie through your teeth any chance you get.
Well, give you the chance to come on if you don't mind.
And here's really the best part of all this. This is the funniest bit of all. Jim Acosta posted this on his own Twitter page. This is absolutely Jim Acosta posting one of his biggest L's. I mean, he goes up there and he tries to interview this guy, and CNN has so devalued their own brand. They've just abandoned all their integrity. You know, they have no integrity anymore. So anybody who speaks to them, it's sort of like speaking to the police, right? The police come knocking and they want to talk to you. We just want to talk. We just want to talk. Everybody knows, well, everybody should know. In case you don't know, never talk to them, right? Unless they have a warrant, don't let them in your place. Unless they're under arrest or you're being detained, don't speak to them. And even if you are arrested or you are detained, do not speak to the police. And the reason that people say this, lawyers in particular, is that, you know, everything that you say and do can be used against you in a court of law. And the thing is, a lot of people who know they're innocent will say things that they think are perfectly innocent, and yet those things sometimes can still be used against you. In the case of Michael Flynn, we saw this. He didn't really say anything that was bad, was offensive. He didn't actually lie to the FBI, but the FBI essentially forced him to sign a document admitting that he was guilty. Now that's a little bit different because I'm not sure he ever actually did do anything wrong. I think he was just leveraged into doing so. They threatened his son. But the point is, they were trying to find some law that they could use to destroy him. And if he had just said, no, I'm not going to talk to the FBI, they wouldn't have had that moment. They wouldn't have had the ability to do that because they wouldn't have had anything on record that they could have manipulated to make it look like he did anything wrong. And this is the problem with a corrupt law enforcement agency or a corrupt law enforcement agent. Any kind of police officer or FBI agent, if they are corrupt, they can, potentially get you on a technicality, get you on something that obviously they're twisting your words or they're twisting the law to make it appear that you've done something guilty, but the law can try to destroy you in certain cases. The same thing can happen with the news media. You can speak to a reporter. Everything that you say might be perfect, but if you say something like, the problem with leftists is, they don't really respect black people. You have these leftists going out here saying, I love black people. I think black people are the best, they're the best people in the world. They're magnificent. And then, but deep in their heart, what do they really think? They're thinking, I don't know if I respect black people at all, right? And they'll just take out the clip. I don't know if I respect black people at all. They'll put that in as if it's your words. I guess in some way it was your words, but you were saying what you believe that leftists think, right? So they take out that one little clip out of context. And CNN does this kind of stuff all the time, right? They talk about Donald Trump. They say, oh, Donald Trump said this thing, and they take it completely out of context and they make it sound completely different to what it is. So Mo Brooks dismissing CNN like this, completely just disrespecting Jim Acosta, I think it was beautiful. And here's the thing. Here's why I wanted to post this video, actually. I believe that this is exactly how every senator, every congressman, every Republican in the world needs to respond to CNN. All right, I have to stop here. I have to interject, and I have to say, we'll get into the details in one moment. First, I have to sell you something. Diversifying your investment is like building a sports team. Each asset plays different roles. You have offensive players, assets that make gains and pay dividends, but equally important is your defensive line, assets that will protect the value of your investment. And there's a 5,000-year-old asset that's seen every world crisis that there ever was and thrived: Gold. Gold and other precious metals. The oldest hedge against inflation and disaster. Your stability insurance. If you put gold into an IRA, you even defer the tax on all gains until you retire. So you get compound growth on everything. That can add thousands of dollars to your fund over the years. And you'd have stability, peace of mind that you made the right choice. Take out an IRA with Noble Gold this month, and along with first-class service, they'll be gifting you a 1/10 ounce gold bullion American Eagle coin. To find out more, go to their website, noblegoldinvestments.com, or call them at 877-646-5347. Again, noblegoldinvestments.com, or call them 877-646-5347. Let's continue on with the video, shall we? Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't advise people to dismiss the media. I think that you should interact with the media, engage with the media, use the platforms that are available in order to get your ideas across and in order to discuss things with the other side, with Democrats. But there's something called acting in bad faith. Any debate that you might have with a leftist, if they're acting in good faith, it will be productive, right? I mean, you can present your ideas, they can present their ideas, and as long as you are genuinely trying to get to the best possible vision of the world, the best possible path forward, explore ideas, explore what the truth is in this world, all those great things, you're going to have a productive debate. However, on the other hand, if somebody comes into the picture and they're pretending to want to debate you, they're pretending to want to debate ideas, and I've foolishly entered into debates like this, where in fact their whole purpose of debating you was not to identify great ideas or to try to get their political philosophy to win out over yours or whatever, which are all, I think, reasonable things to do in a debate, but rather they're trying to get you to say something that they can twist to make you look racist or to make you look like a bigot or to make you look like a homophobe or something like that. If the whole purpose of the debate for them in their mind is to make other people hate you so that they dismiss your ideas, not because your ideas are bad, but rather because they've been able to frame you inaccurately as a bad person, that's what you call acting in bad faith. And you shouldn't engage with people like that, because it's sort of like let's say you bring somebody over to play poker with you, right? And whether they win or lose, they plan on pointing a gun at you, taking all the stuff out of your safe, stealing your TV, and murdering your family. If you know that they're coming over for that purpose, you probably shouldn't bring them over to play poker, because you know that their intention isn't actually to play whatever game it is that they've pretended they want to come over and play. Rather, it is to murder your family and steal all your stuff. So, right. So that's what we call acting in bad faith. Never debate somebody who isn't really interested in debate. Never do an interview with anybody that's not really interested in doing an honest interview. And CNN has proven itself to be one of these disingenuous characters. The entirety of CNN really is, they constantly act in bad faith. They're just bad faith actors, and we just need to dismiss them. We just need to disregard them, all conservatives. You know, it's funny because, well, let me get to this. So it looks like basically that this is what's happening. Elise Stefanik tweeted, this is a response to an article in the Daily Wire about Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper has lost about 75% of his audience since Trump left office. Daily Caller wrote this article. And so Elise Stefanik is responding to this in a tweet, and she writes, "No amount of his secret begging of Republicans to appear on his unwatched show will change this trajectory. Americans are tuning out from Jake Tapper," she writes, #FakeTapper, "for good reason. I'm sure he'll throw his producers and bookers under the bus again," which I don't know about that. I guess it's something that he's done. But what I found particularly interesting about this is she's written, "No amount of his secret begging of Republicans to appear on his unwatched show." So what she's sort of exposing here is that Jake Tapper has been going around asking Republicans to appear on Jake Tapper's show, and Republicans appear to be refusing to do so, which I think is magnificent because, and here's one of the reasons. Well, first of all, it's because of the whole concept of being a bad faith actor. I think that Jake Tapper absolutely is a bad faith actor. But the other thing is that for the last 4 years, I think, pretty much the whole time Donald Trump was in office, there was this push by the left to not bring conservatives on their shows. There was this whole concept, this whole philosophy within the leftists' political sphere, this idea that we should not bring conservatives on major platforms like CNN or NBC or any kind of leftist media because it provides them a platform to address the nation. And we just want to basically suppress every idea that conservatives have, not by creating better ideas and debating their ideas and showing that their ideas are bad ideas, but rather by just not giving them a platform, not giving them air to breathe, not allowing anyone to hear the ideas. If nobody hears a great idea, what value does it have? It doesn't have any value at all. You can't give the idea any kind of momentum. It won't be accepted by anyone because no one will hear it. So this was their plan. This was their plan over the last 4 years. Don't let conservatives onto our shows. Don't let them speak. Nothing like that. CNN would occasionally have a rhino conservative on their channel, or they'd have somebody who is really a poor debater to come on and debate issues that maybe they're not prepared to debate, or they just don't have the charisma or skills to do so. And then the leftists would pile on and basically try to silence them, basically try to shut them up. And there's a few conservatives that went on these channels in the last 4 years, and I would just see them barely given any time to speak. When they were able to speak, they would be responded to 4 times by different other people that would just shut down their argument. And then before they could respond, they would end the segment. So this is the style of CNN. This is the style of NBC. This is the style of all these different leftist media organizations. They just want their ideas out. They don't want anyone else's. They are bad faith actors. And from now on, I think we just need to allow their channels to die. Allow these mainstream media platforms to just die off, because we need people that are willing to act in good faith, willing to have real debates, willing to have real discussions with conservatives, so that we can show that our ideas are better than the left's ideas. Obviously, they don't want to show that. They don't want anybody to see that, so they use all these tricks. But the fact that Jake Tapper has a dying show and he's desperately trying to get conservatives on there, I just love that. I just think that's the funniest thing ever. Now, Reuters recently did a survey of not just Americans, but everyone around the world. And they did this survey of trust in the media. And the United States, and I'm not joking, this is absolutely true, of all the countries that they surveyed in the whole world, America came in dead last. Americans do not trust their own media. That's incredible, because you have like former Soviet countries, their media is state-run media still. I mean, their media is still controlled by the government. And our media over here in America, it's supposed to be free. Our media is supposed to be the check that we have on government power and corruption and all this kind of stuff. But the media is not acting as that check anymore. They're not acting as an independent entity. They're not doing real journalism anymore. And so, of course, Americans don't trust the media. And we're not just talking about Republicans here. Most Democrats don't trust the media as well. And I think I might have an idea why. Now, this is a video that I'm going to do soon, so I'm not going to get into it too much, but there used to be something in America called the Smith-Mundt Act, okay? We still kind of have the Smith-Mundt Act in effect currently, but in 2012, during the Obama administration, this act was effectively repealed. Now, what was the Smith-Mundt Act? The Smith-Mundt Act essentially said the FBI, the CIA, intelligence agencies, the U.S. government, they are not allowed to control the U.S. media. They're not allowed to propagandize the American public. They are not allowed to lie to the American public through the news media in order to try to basically brainwash the American people. That's what the Smith-Mundt Act was intended to do. Why would you repeal that? Why? Why would you repeal that? The only reason you would repeal that is if you wanted the federal government to be able to brainwash the American people, to be able to lie to the American people. And who works for CNN now more than any other industry, right? Other than maybe journalists? Well, it's the intelligence agencies, right? So you have ex-CIA, you have ex-FBI just riddled through CNN. They have essentially shifted. You retire from the FBI, what do? You shift over to media. You shift over to CNN. You shift over to these different media agencies, different media companies. And yeah, I mean, if you are a loyalist, if you're a loyalist to these agencies, to the deep state, especially the upper echelons of the FBI and the CIA, and you want these agencies to be able to influence CNN and the other news media companies, then are you going to always tell these companies the truth? When you're interviewed by Jake Tapper, are you always going to tell Jake Tapper the truth? No, of course not. You're going to tell them what you want the American people to hear. So you have these carefully crafted messages from these agents through the news media to the American public. It looks to me like the CIA and the FBI now effectively control the news media here in the United States. Because like I said, the Smith-Mundt Act was effectively repealed in 2012 during the Obama administration, that has given them almost 10 years to try to infiltrate the news media and to try to propagandize the American people. So that's what I think is happening right now. If they're not controlling it, they're certainly in cahoots. And your news media, at least from left-wing sources, is really being, massively conditioned. And certainly we've seen the new article by Revolver showing that the leader of the Oath Keepers is an FBI informant. I'm doing a whole video on that soon, so stay tuned. That's all about January 6th and that whole situation, which looks now like it was, at least in part, if not entirely, an FBI operation January 6th, which is absolutely incredible. But anyway, so yeah, I thought that this Mo Brooks video was the great catalyst to talk about how I think that every conservative should be treating left-wing media. At the end of the day, we just need to ignore it. Let them die out. They don't have anything to say anymore. All they can do is talk about how much they hate Trump, but Trump's not in office anymore. So keep saying you hate Trump, guys, and let's just watch your companies die off. I think it's great. I think that if you are a news media agency and you just lie to the American people over and over and over again all day, every day, you deserve to die off. All right, well, that's it for me. And remember, it's not that our liberal friends are ignorant. It's just that they lie to the American people all the time. Good night.
This is the specter our well-meaning liberal friends refuse to face, that their policy of accommodation is appeasement. If we continue to accommodate, continue to back and retreat, therein lies the road to war. You and I know and do not believe that life is so dear and peace so sweet as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery.